Okay, guys. So after the conman operation started, right? They started with a lot of things. That's why all my salary, my compensations, that's supposed to come to me, were all stolen, and they use corporate companies with the MO that I told you guys just now. They will pump in the stolen fund that was supposed to come from the court system to come out payment to be given to me, pay back to me. So they will use the imposter to sign the documents. Sign the document, they will cash out the check from the probably from our MACC department or from the finance department. Then the check they will transfer into the corporate companies. Okay, all these have money trail. You have paper trails and you have money trails. Okay, then the money will transfer into corporate companies already, right? They will buy into shares. So when they get exposed, if they get exposed, then they will immediately sell off their share and liquidate. That was happened to SpaceX IPO. They liquidated 600 billion. That happened to MMAG. They liquidated 85 million ringgit Malaysia, and that happened to Tanko. Tanko liquidated 10 billion ringgit Malaysia. 10 billion ringgit Malaysia is equivalent to my compensations that the Supreme Court justices rewarded to me for the crackdown of the corruption case. So what problem I'm facing right here is after I crack down one corruption, right, then another corruption appear, another round of corruption appear. We crack down the Sukarno probate frauds, right? Then after that, I appointed a conman, Elon Musk. Unfortunately, I appointed him. I thought he can be trusted. I appointed him, and they organized the entire investment that I made. Okay, those are my investments, like the Bitcoin investment, how the company I want to arrange my company to be like, how I want the funding to be used. Okay, because it's my money. It's my money. Okay, I won the case. It's my money. So I won the case. It's my money. It's my capital. I injected into companies that I can salvage or I want to invest into during the pandemic. Okay, they kept saying that I'm not doing any work. Actually, I did a lot of investment during the economy crash down, economy collapse. So they are trying to now what I see Elon Musk is doing is trying to cash out the stolen fund from the Bitcoin investment from the profit that I have already made. The profit that I've already made. Okay. So they are trying to cover up the fact that they have already pulled that money and then dump it into SpaceX IPO to make it appear like that is the you know the profits that they get from the IPOs sell off. But in fact, it was the funding that they dump in from what have I have made from the Bitcoin investment. Okay, that is just one example. There are lots of the cases that are like that. Okay, another case in Malaysia is MMAG, Tanko that I already identified, but there are more because the funding that has been pulled out from the contribution that I had given to our government, the Malaysia government, is 880 billion, okay, ringgit Malaysia. It's roughly around, like I calculated, it's roughly around 12.5% of the principal fee that I made from the first from the first batch of the IP rights that I claimed for the principal fee, okay, or you can call it trustee fee. Okay, it doesn't matter, but it's a different thing actually. It's my intellectual property rights. Okay, guys. So inheritance heist is another case. Okay, that was the old case. Destiny swap is another case. That is the case pertaining to the trust that they stolen after I set it up, everything. I get them to set up with the crooked judge after they killed the legal counsel, Miss Karen Hughes. She was she was affected by the Havana syndrome. Um, Acoustic weapons was used on her health, and then her health deteriorated dramatically. Deteriorated, so she she didn't make it. Okay, that's how she passed away. So when she passed away in 2022 October, right, if I'm not mistaken, October, and I still didn't know that she has passed away. So when I communicated, my communication is all go through this judge, Mark Kishon Christopher. Mark Kishon Christopher. FBI or DOJ arrested him. He has confessed, okay, that he has committed the fraud, but that doesn't mean that the fraud has stopped, okay? Because when I revoked Elon Musk's trusteeship, he has gained the control of the company that they have stolen, okay? The company that I asked them to set up, they somehow has used their own, I think they use their own company to arrange for the all the investment that I want to make, okay? Using my money, but they stole the investment, they stole the profits, okay? So the family office that I wanted to set up, they have already stolen it and use my funds, use my capital with all the investment that I asked them to invest during the very initial stage until now. Okay, my investment doesn't stop. Okay, even though I do a lot of charity or do a lot of other type of trust work, but investment is one of the main thing that I will do for our trust, because in order to support the kind of social welfare that you guys wanted, right? My trust must be able to make a lot of money. Okay, if my trust is unable to make a lot of money, that means if every time I need to use anything, I need to get a court approval or a get a Supreme Court approval or whatever kind of approval from whichever government, because of the conflict of interest and all that. So you guys will never get anything. Okay. The reason why I'm able to release money to you guys is because I made a lot of profit from my investment. Okay. Even recently when we have the situation, right before the situation that they want to like attack Iran, right before that, right, I heard the news. Immediately I already made my investment for standby. Okay. That's why I have made the investment and make sure that the bank, the investor, they don't steal the profit. So when I have anything that I need to use for the world or any country or for our own Malaysia, social welfare or benefits for the people, the Fed or US government or even my trust lawyer, they have no say. The only reason is because it's my profit, it's my money. I'm throwing out my money to the people. Okay, that's how I am able to fund the social benefit. Like recently, they want the Trump account is funded from my profit. Um, I will talk about Clarity Act, I think, in the next video. So if you just imagine if I don't make that kind of money, right, it's impossible for me to fund anything that is related to social benefits. The government don't have that much of income to fund it. Okay?